Sarah Ferguson's new book Withdrawn from Sale, What Really Happened Behind the Palace Curtains. Welcome to Crown Chronicles, the channel where royal mysteries unfold, palace truths are revealed, and the untold stories of Britain's most famous family come alive. If you love gripping royal content, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because today's story is one you absolutely cannot miss. Imagine this: Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, best-selling author, global personality, former royal turned public favorite, is suddenly at the center of a new and unexpected scandal. Her newest book, highly anticipated, widely promoted, and expected to be another commercial triumph, has been withdrawn from sale, according to Nielsen. And the whispers inside royal circles suggest this is not just about a publishing mishap. No, this may be about palace politics, timing, and secrets that someone, somewhere, did not want revealed. So sit back, because we're diving into a gripping, dramatic, and surprisingly emotional royal saga that will leave you shocked right until the very end. The moment news broke that Sarah Ferguson's book had been quietly pulled from shelves, the publishing world spiraled into speculation. Books don't just vanish overnight, especially not ones from a woman who has sold millions of copies around the world. And certainly not from a duchess whose every move is watched by the press, the palace, and the public. According to industry trackers, orders were halted, distribution paused, and retailers instructed to suspend sales. The silence was sudden. The timing, suspicious. The reason? Completely unclear, but what makes this story even more intriguing is where Sarah herself was when the scandal erupted. Sources close to the Duchess say she was blindsided. She had just wrapped a series of interviews where she spoke passionately, and perhaps a bit too openly, about life after Queen Elizabeth II, her new direction as an author, and how writing helped her navigate some of the darkest chapters of her life. Some insiders believe that may be where the trouble began. For years, Sarah Ferguson has walked a tightrope between royal acceptance and royal exile. Her warm personality and openness have earned her millions of fans, but they've also made palace aides nervous. She speaks from the heart, always has, and the palace, well. The palace prefers silence. Controlled messaging. Carefully coordinated narratives. And according to one insider, this latest book may have crossed an invisible line. The manuscript reportedly went through several rounds of editing, with publishers asking for adjustments to certain passages involving the late Queen, Prince Andrew, and the York family's life inside the royal lodge. Some comments were deemed too personal, others potentially misleading, and a few, according to whispers from those who saw early drafts, were simply too close to the truth. But was this sudden withdrawal really about sensitive content? Or was it about timing that came at the worst possible moment for the House of Windsor? King Charles, turning 77 and marking his second year on the throne, has been narrowing the royal circle, focusing on the core working members of the family. Prince Andrew, Sarah's longtime ex-husband but close companion, remains a major unresolved issue within the monarchy. His association with controversy continues to cast a shadow, and the palace has reportedly been working behind the scenes to keep the Yorks out of the spotlight. Now imagine a new book, filled with insights, anecdotes, and possibly unfiltered opinions, landing in the middle of that. Some royal commentators say that while Sarah meant no harm, the palace couldn't risk a new wave of headlines. Not now. Not when Charles is reshaping the monarchy. Not when William and Catherine are stabilizing their own roles. Not when the king is trying to protect the institution from yet another wave of negative publicity. Suddenly, the withdrawal starts to make sense. Others believe the issue may be far simpler and more ironic: a legal problem. It wouldn't be the first time a book faced a sudden recall due to quotation rights, factual discrepancies, or issues with permissions. Some have speculated that stories Sarah shared, possibly about her marriage, royal events, or past relationships, may have included details she didn't have formal clearance to publish. The palace is known to be extremely protective of its archives and correspondence. One paragraph too far, and a legal team can move mountains in a matter of hours. Yet there's another layer to this story, an emotional one. Sarah Ferguson has always had a complex relationship with the royal family. She's loved, she's criticized, she's embraced, she's pushed away, she's forgiven, she's misunderstood. But she has never been ignored. And if there's one thing we know about the Duchess, it's this: she writes not to expose but to connect. To share her journey. To stay relevant. To speak her truth. Those close to her say she feels deeply disappointed, even hurt, by the unexpected withdrawal. This book was one she poured her soul into, a story meant to inspire readers, especially women who have fought their way back from public humiliation, heartbreak, or self-doubt. For it to vanish so suddenly feels like another chapter in her long struggle to be heard. And then there's Prince Andrew. Though officially separated for decades, Sarah and Andrew remain almost inseparable. Their closeness has often been a point of criticism, but it also adds an emotional tension to this new controversy. Anything that affects one inevitably affects the other. And with Andrew desperately trying to rebuild his reputation, even quietly, the last thing either of them needs is a new scandal, even one centered around a book. But the question remains: will this book ever return to shelves? Or will it become one of those infamous royal projects, whispered about, speculated over, but ultimately silenced? Some publishing insiders say yes, absolutely, but only after revisions. Others insist the withdrawal is permanent. A small but vocal group believes Sarah may choose to republish independently, free from palace pressure. But one thing is certain: this saga is far from over, and here's where the story becomes almost cinematic. What if this controversy pushes Sarah Ferguson back into the spotlight in a way no one expected? What if curiosity around the withdrawn book causes demand to skyrocket? What if her fans rally behind her, eager to know what was deemed too sensitive, too revealing, or too royal to be published? In the world of the monarchy, silence often speaks louder than words. And the silence surrounding this withdrawal is practically roaring. So what do you think happened? Was the book pulled because of palace politics? A legal technicality? Unfiltered honesty? Or a clash between Sarah's openness and the monarchy's deep-rooted tradition of secrecy? Whatever the truth is, one thing's clear: the Duchess of York has once again become the royal wildcard, the woman who won't disappear. Who won't stop writing, who won't stop telling her story. Even if someone tries to stop her. Thank you for watching Crown Chronicles. If you want more breaking royal updates, deep dives, and exclusive stories, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of royal drama. The palace may keep secrets, but here, we uncover them all. Crown.